same way every time. Hey Verlatti, you got a minute? And then a random question pops up like, wasn't there just a storm in Charlotte? To how does a California kid stay warm in the snow? We're gonna talk about that one today. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. One of the reasons that I love living here is I find the weather to be pretty mild year-round. The summers aren't ridiculously hot and the winters don't get overly cold. It typically snows on us maybe once a year, once every other year, but it did snow last weekend and it made me think about bringing two products to you here on Hey Verlatti. The first is my favorite pair of Vans. So every year I buy a van really from this same line. So this is the Skate High line, but it is their MTE version, which is made for the elements. So it's a winter shoe. It is made out of like a suede material that has some weatherproofing to it. It also has a traction bottom that I find to be really great in the snow and the ice. Last weekend when it snowed, I really didn't have any problems walking the dogs out in this shoe. Every year I buy one of these and I find that they never let me down. So next winter, this winter, if you're looking for a perfect winter shoe, check out the Skate High MTE. The second shoe that I thought I would bring to you is not as fashionable, but is definitely useful. So this is by LL Bean. I think this is called the Bean Boot. I bought this a couple years ago when I was spending a lot of time in Doylestown, Pennsylvania. But I also find this to be a great shoe for the winter element. So if you're out in the rain, in the snow, whatever those kind of rough conditions are, this shoe will keep your foot dry 100% of the time. It is kind of gusseted here to where there's no way for water to get in there in between kind of, you know, your sock and the tongue of the shoe. So it's not as good looking as the Van shoe, but I find that I put this on the second that there's bad weather out, and I'm really trying to make sure that I'm not worried about being fashionable, but making sure that I have the right choice on my feet. So whether it is the Van MTE or the LL Bean Boot, if the weather is turning kind of ugly in your area, I think you should give both of them a shot. All right, hope you found value in this edition of Hey Verlatti, and I look forward to talking to you again next week. This has been a production of Traction Media Labs, where we celebrate the hustlers, the grinders, the go-getters, the men and women that make this country great.